Yes, Barrett Brooks for Barrett's Breakdown is here from NBC Sports, Philadelphia's Eagles pre- and post-game show. Barrett, I got to be honest and straightforward with you. I watch you guys on the post-game after every Eagles game. Yesterday, did not.
Appreciate it.
Yesterday, I did not because that game was over at halftime. I went out and had a good old time. I didn't need to see the second half of that game and hear what you guys had to say. No, I mean, realistically, at 8-1, I want to ask you, we've been talking about this the last hour. Give me maybe 2 or 3 reasons why this team is 8-1 as opposed to what they were last year. You know, that's 7-19. What has been 3 major changes?
Oh, man, just looking, where the hell did we get this quarterback from? How in the world is he this good this fast? This is unbelievable. I mean, I played with great quarterbacks, but this is unreal. I played with Brett Favre, Randall Cunningham, but this kid is just unbelievable. I mean, I can remember them going up and getting him in the second round. I mean, the second pick of the draft, and I'm thinking about why? Why are they going up there? I said it on the show. I said, why are they going up and getting
And
this
I was
guy?
with you. I was with you.
Exactly.
It's inconceivable to think that you're going to make the trade and get that guy.
Right. I mean, come on now. He didn't play in the SEC. He did not play in the SEC. I mean, he didn't play against the likes of Lattimore and, you know, the LSUs and Tennessees and Floridas and Alabamas. He didn't play against that caliber of talent. But he comes up here and he is running things. And I think the biggest thing with his maturation is Doug is allowing him to be him. I mean, he goes in, he goes with the game plan, and you know, Doug say, hey, this is what we want to do. But he gives him carte blanche to say, all right, well, I'm seeing this when I'm watching film. And he gives the autonomy to go in and change things up a little bit, put a little bit here, put a little bit there. This kid is smart. He's athletic. And this team believes in him, man. There's nothing like belief, man. When you have a team that believes in one common goal, bro, you can just do about anything. It's scary. I mean, absolutely scary how close this season is running parallel to how the season I had with the Steelers when we won the Super Bowl. I mean, it's unfathomable how close it's parallel during some points during the year. This is crazy. This team really believes in him, and at this point, he believes in himself so much that he's willing this team to win the way they are. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
If the quarterback, and look, we just talked about it, which teams concern you the most in the NFC, and the choices are really Dallas, Seattle, New Orleans, and all 3 of those teams, the answer is the same. Prescott.
No, you know what? But you got to add Minnesota. Even though they don't have a quarterback right now, you got to add Minnesota in there because their defense is that good.
Right. Well, and I'm talking about the teams that are in the conversation. Minnesota, and they have an excellent defense. Goff is playing at another level. That's why the Rams are in the discussion too. But those teams that have the quarterback play, you got to have it in this league. So it shows you how important Wentz is to the success of this football team. But if you take Wentz out, having the quarterback is a recipe for all teams that they have to have. What are a couple other things that have thoroughly improved from a year ago? Because at 7-9, you're only a handful of plays away from being 10-6 or 11-5.
Well, I mean, look at it. I mean, I talked about it earlier. We discussed it. In the trenches, this team is top 5 in the trenches, especially when Peters is in the lineup. It was 1 or 2 in the league as far as being the greatest offensive line in the league at this point. And there's no question that this defensive line, the way these guys are playing, have to be top 1 or 2 in the league. I mean, they just blew out the outplayed the best defensive line in the league with Denver. I mean, they just showed them up. So if you look at it, the defensive line playing at the level that they are and the way they alternate guys in and they don't miss a beat. And then you look at the offensive line of the Eagles. They found a way to, even with Big V in the lineup, to be a dominating offensive line. It's not one of those things where now we have to go in there and game plan how we're going to beat this team. You know, all right, they're good against the run, so we're not going to run, we're going to pass it. No, I mean, at this point, the offensive coordinator, Coach Peterson, goes in there, the head coach calling the plays, goes in there and says, I'm going to run the ball anyways. And having that attitude and frame of mind and getting his guys in that type of frame of mind is really putting them on another level. They are right now influencing how the defense is playing them as opposed to defense influencing him. It used to be as if you had a number one defense, and especially against the run, you don't run on them. You find some other way to beat them. At this point, he doesn't give a damn. He's going to run the ball regardless. And that's the difference between last year Peterson and this year's Peterson. He's not making his quarterback go out there and win the game. Now this team is winning the game, and you could see it, man. It's glaring. You know, at this point, Carson doesn't have the blazing statistics throwing for 300 yards, but he doesn't have to. He's leading this team, and you have to you have to keep somebody out of the box because he can throw so well. But now the running game is working. Now you have to put him back in the box. So it's like pick your poison. You want to stop the run, stop the pass. Either way, he's going to hurt you.
Hey, BB, Mike brought up the issue of tackling because they truly tackle, and it sounds like something that's so simple, but we've seen Eagles teams in the past that aren't good tackling teams. Is that a major change from last year to this year, the tackling, just being able to get guys to the ground?
No question, no question. These guys are confident, and they're playing fast. They're swarming. They're trying to beat each other to the ball. And you can see it's contagious. It's to a point now where guys are fighting, scratching the claw, and trying to get there before the ball carrier gets up. They are swarming tacklers. And these DBs, I mean, Jalen Mills, I'm telling you, he's trying to get there, and when he gets there with a purpose. If he reads it, he's reacting, he's going all out. Whatever he's doing, he's going all out. And look at his maturation. This guy's really playing at a high level. We're talking about he's been making so many plays, and I'm starting to think that maybe he thinks he is a Pro Bowl type of player. Maybe he should be going to Hawaii. That's what he's playing at this point. Patrick Peterson, I tell you what, I almost wrote him off. I told him, look, man, this guy cannot play. His confidence was down during training camp. This guy can't cover. He couldn't cover anything, you know. But at this point, he is playing lights out. He led as far as getting the interception frenzy going. Man, these guys are really confident in each other, and competition is breeding these guys to go out there and play at another level. I mean, at another level. They tackle so well. They're going up. They're fitting guys up. They're tackling guys through the legs. I mean, how about this? How about they're turning around trying to locate the ball so they can get interceptions? Remember, we went for years, like 2 or 3 years, without guys even turning their heads around. I think it just kind of shows, you know, it's so competitive in these rooms that, you know, they're their biggest opponents.
Well, real quick on that, I did bring that up, the tackling. I mean, you can –
And the turn your head around has come up, too.
But the tackling in this league, the way the league is now, they just dump the ball off, make you miss, because offensive coordinators, BB, they almost say, you're not going to tackle us. We'll get the ball in space, make a guy miss, wiggle out of a tackle, 58 yards up the sideline, touchdown. How many of those big plays killed this team the last couple of years because they simply couldn't tackle?
Well, look, Beckham killed us for years, you know, going out there, and they just knew all they had to do was give him the ball in the slant, and nobody would be able to tackle him. Well, I beg to differ now. You give a guy a ball in the slant now, and he's going to tackle you right then and there for no gain. So it's like you bump your head against the wall because he might catch it and get 5 yards. But I guarantee you won't be able to do it again because these guys are reading right, reacting right. They are form tackling. I mean, it's not the rugby tackling either. They're really going up and putting their face in guys' necks and tackling these guys. And it's remarkable how Coach Underland has really coached these guys up. Everybody's playing at another level. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how these guys are playing the way they're playing, but, man, it's remarkable how good this team is.
Hey, Barrett, another reason they're 8-1 is because of their ability to run the football. And yesterday I saw Gunnar and Rube, their post-game report, describe the running game as like a shell game, like which running back was going to be in there because they had 5 guys active and each one had a different skill set. That's almost impossible to defend against, right?
Oh, no question. You know, you have so many different facets of the game, and they're hungry. See what it is, these guys understand it. They're going to be given the ball almost not equally, but they're going to get their chance to do it, and they want to make sure that when they're in there, they make an impact so they can get back in. They don't know when the next time they're going to be back in. So they go out there and they make sure that they put cross their T's and dot their I's and make sure they put their stamp on each run that they have. They try to finish each run knowing that they might not be out there for a little while. So it's kind of working in their favor.
It's almost like the defensive line rotation there, right, BB?
Same thing. You don't know when the next time you're going to be out there, so you make sure you optimize that opportunity every single time. I got to break this because I know if I don't get out here, LeGarrett's going to bust one. Or, oh, man, Ajayi just broke a touchdown. I got to go do the same thing. Well, look at this rookie. Clemens is out there. He just scored on a pass play, on a screen play. I got to go out there and make an instant impact. All that competition breeds these guys going out there and playing like a frenzy. They want to make sure they get their opportunity to make a great play. And next thing you know, it's going, the next guy's out there, he's making a great play. I got to outdo him. That's how you become great as a team. I knew when I was playing with the Steelers that every single time we had the opportunity to practice against each other, we knew we were playing against the best defense, the best offense, the best special teams. So when I was out there, I knew I was going to get Joey Porter, the best defense end and the best defense out there. Casey Hampton, when we trying to go against him in practice 9-on-7. That way when I got in the game, I don't care who it was. I know this guy in front of me was not better than Casey Hampton. He was not better than Joey Porter. Well, I think these guys think the same thing. They say, all right, then, well, shoot, I'm going against Alshon Jeffries every week. There's not going to be a guy that's going to go up and get a 50-50 ball like this guy does. Or I'm going against Nelson Aguilar. Nobody runs better routes than him or slant routes than him. Or, we got Zach Ertz. This is the best tight end in the league. When you start playing against the best, you start to think you're the best also. Because if you can shut him down in practice, there's no question you can shut down who's ever playing across from you in a different colored jersey.
Hey, Barrett, no, Zach Ertz yesterday. What's it say to you that they were able to put up 50 points against that defense without maybe their best offensive weapon?
I think they have so many weapons right now, and Carson is so comfortable with who's ever out there. It really doesn't matter. He spreads the ball out very, very well. Last week he had the opportunity to go up and get Alshon Jeffries to get a 50-50 ball and take it in for a touchdown. The week before that, Mac Hollins. I mean, if you look at the Washington game, didn't nobody even know who number 10 was. You could tell. Swearinger looked over there and thought, well, that's number 10. I'm going to try to double down on Alshon Jeffries. So on the corner pass, he bit on the corner with Alshon, which allowed Mac Hollins to go over the top for the long touchdown. That just goes to show that even if a guy isn't the major target, they have enough of a skill set to make sure that they can somebody else can step in and get the job done. Mac Hollins comes in, and he's going to force other receivers like Smith to go out there and practice harder and make sure every opportunity he gets, he's going to fulfill that. It's just so competitive in that locker room that you have to make sure that you go out there and perform, or else you won't be out there.
I was in the seats yesterday, but my view of the Trey Burton touchdown, I very much remember saying out loud to anybody that was listening, hey, there's a guy open on the end here. Hey, there's nobody on this guy. Hey, and of course they hike the ball and snap it and throw it right to Trey Burton. The linebacker's slow to move over and react, and, of course, you don't know who the next guy's going to be.
Well, you know what? That's exactly right, because I know we're sitting up and I watch film. I watch film with three of the great guys. I got Seth, I got the Hall of Famer Ray Diddy, and then I watch with Michael Barkan. So we're sitting there watching the game. So that's the first thing Seth said. Hey, Burton's he's uncovered right now. He's covered. Nobody's out there on him. So the linebacker went out there on him
slowly,
like halfway. I said, oh, he's still uncovered because this linebacker can't run with this tight end. He can't run with Trey Burton. So next thing you know, I look up. It's a touchdown. I'll tell you what. They got tight ends that run like receivers. They have running backs that play hard all the time. I'm trying to figure out what team matches up well against them. I can't think of anything. You're just going to either have to outscore them, and that's why I say, Drew Brees and that Saints offense might be able to hold them down a little bit. And Dallas, if they do keep Zeke, and the way it's looking, if they keep Zeke in the lineup, they can handle it because they can go score for score also.
Yeah, they'll make a decision, I guess, on Thursday on that. Barrett's breakdown. Barrett Brooks, Super Bowl champion, of course, former Eagles offensive lineman. You can now see him on NBC Sports Philadelphia Eagles pre- and post-game show. And here I'm on Mondays here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. Do you like the bye week coming now, or are they playing too well that you wanted to see them keep going?
No, well, see, they're based in with great fundamentals, so I think they'll be all right. They understood they had a little short bye, and they saw they came back kind of lethargic. So I don't see them doing that again. They understand they're going to have to come out and swing, and they're not going to have to worry about going out and playing hard against Dallas. They're going to play hard against Dallas. They'll be woke going against this Dallas team, so I'm not worried about them going. They need to rest. They also need to get a couple guys healthy. And picture that. We've only had a half of play from Darby, our fastest DB. Imagine when he comes back this next game. There's so much stuff we have going on that, this team is just really, really ready to make their run.
Hey, Barrett, as a former offensive lineman, what did you see on the Jay Ajayi touchdown run? That was a pretty wide hole there. Who did everything right on that run?
Man, if you look at it, Brandon Brooks has had quietly one of the better years I've seen from a guard. He is flat back of people. He is playing so solid that you haven't said anything. Everybody's looking at the tackles. Well, how about Brandon Brooks? Let's give him a little praise. He is playing phenomenal. He's blowing guys up. He cut the backside on that, was able to get to the linebacker, ended up blocking 2 on the Jai touchdown. 2 people, knocked 2 people down. When you're playing at that level, that you're unnoticed and you're playing like that, it just goes to show you got a lot of other brothers out there playing just as good as you are. That means this team is really playing at a high level.
Yeah, Brooks did a good job and Wisniewski on that too. They both kind of pinched their guys, turn them inwards. And Ajayi, boom, you saw in the first week his home run hitting ability on that play. A caller asked this question, Barrett. I want to get your take on this. He said, not that you don't want Sproles, but would they have been running the ball as much if Sproles was still in the offense? Or because of Sproles' skill set, would they be more inclined to throw the ball more?
That's a great question, because I'm likely to believe that we would be still going through the same thing and bumping our heads and trying to pass the ball a lot. I mean, it was almost like it's a blessing in disguise that his skill set is one that you want to get him out on the pass and really open it up with the pass with him. But I think it was almost like they were they were forced to go into this run first type of offense, and Doug had to do it just to adapt, and it just worked out for the best for these guys. I mean, I hate Sproles is my guy, Kansas State guy. But it's almost like a blessing in disguise that they had to change the whole outlook on how they run this offense because they couldn't use him in that capacity. Now they had to look to somebody else to move those chains. And it just so happens that that day in L.A. against the Chargers that we found a run game just from a 68 or 69-yard run from LeGarrette Blount, which really opened up the floodgates and showed Doug we got to run the ball.
Well, Barrett, since you're up there all the time, help the game day crew out and get them some more fireworks, will you? They ran out of fireworks.
That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing.
Hey, real quick, we have a poll question up. Your take, which NFC team concerns you the most, Cowboys, Seahawks, Saints, or other?
I'm going to say Saints, just because Drew and the way it's not just Drew throwing the ball, Drew Brees throwing the ball. They have a really good running game right now. That rookie they have, come on from Tennessee, he's playing at a high level. And, they're just running the ball, and it's not just them passing, and the defense has stepped up. So at this point, I worry about the Saints. But, the way this team is playing, I don't see anybody else really competing with them, though.
All right, Barrett Brooks, NBC Sports Philadelphia, pre- and post-game live during Eagles game days, quick slants, and right here on the Sports Bash. BB, take care, pal.
Pete, Mike, appreciate you.